The movie starts in a rehab center on a sunny Wednesday. Kyle, who is in rehab recovering from addiction, is having breakfast while his friend Sonia scratches the edge of the desk, counting the days they've been in rehab. It's been 92 days. During their conversation, Kyle tells Sonia that they have the opportunity to go outside the rehab center later that day. However, Sonia doesn't seem excited about it. As Sonia looks up, she sees Michael, their friend, approaching with his food on a plate. At that moment, a bully puts his leg in Michael's way, causing him to fall. Kyle watches this and immediately goes into a fight with the bully. Bob, the person in charge of the facility, steps in and stops the fight, bringing under control what had occurred. Kyle, Sonia, and Michael go out of the rehab center to have their free day. Kyle goes to his sister's secondary school to talk. Kyle approaches her sister. He really wants to talk to her, but she doesn't want to talk to him in any way at all. Sonia goes to check on her sick father at the hospital, while Michael goes to prison to talk with his father. Michael's father is not happy seeing him, and his father keeps telling him he is in prison because of him and tells Michael to leave. The scene now switches to where Kyle, Sonia, Michael, and other people are at the rehab center talking about their day. Bob asks Kyle how he spent the day, and instantly Kyle starts sharing his day about how it went with the visit of his sister. All of a sudden Michael gets angry and starts speaking that this won't turn anything out for us at all. After this, Kyle, Sonia, and Michael are having a talk outside about how this kind of discussion makes their free day bad. Meanwhile, Bob, with a not happy face, comes out and asks Sonia to come inside. After a moment, Sonia comes out and tells Kyle and Michael about her father's death. It is nighttime, and Kyle, Sonia, and Michael are in their respective rooms having emotional breakdowns. Sonia, who lost her dad, is grieving in her room. Kyle has the TV turned on, and the news on the TV talks about an identified person committing suicide that day. While the news is on, lighting strikes and the power goes off. Kyle tries to turn the TV on, Sonia tries to turn on her desk lamp, and also Michael tries to turn on the lights. At this moment they all get electrocuted and wake up in the morning. Kyle is having breakfast and Sonia is scratching the desk edge counting days while they're having conversations about how many days they have been in the rehab. 92, 93, Sonia is confused. It was supposed to be 93 but it's still 92. While they are confused, the bully puts his leg in Michael's way, making Michael fall. Kyle gets up but avoids a fight. Michael is also experiencing a similar thing as Kyle and Sonia. They leave the rehab center for their free time again. Kyle goes to his sister to talk as last time, but this time he avoids it and sits in his car to watch her have fun with her friends. Sonia goes to the hospital to check on her sick father, and she leaves without talking to her father. While Michael goes to prison to talk to his father, Michael decides not to talk to his father as he is aware of what he is going to say. He sits and hears what he heard last time again. The scene cuts to Kyle, Sonia, Michael, and other members of the rehab center talking about their day. Bob asks Kyle how he spent the day, and Kyle freezes because the question that he was asked is the same as last time. Michelle starts laughing crazy and leaves the discussion. Kyle, Sonia, and Michael meet outside confused about what is happening. Kyle recalls that last night he was electrocuted. Sonia and Michael also told Kyle they were also electrocuted when they tried to turn on the lights. Kyle, hearing this, decides to investigate this time loop. He tells Sonia and Michael that he heard suicide news on the TV before he was electrocuted. Kyle thinks this might have a connection with the time loop and decides to go to see what happens to the person who commits the suicide. Kyle, Sonia, and Michelle see a young boy jumping into an artificial waterfall. Again, Kyle, Sonia, and Michael wake up in the same time loop. This time Kyle and Michael decide to do whatever they want because they are in a time loop, and none of the things they do matter. They decide to steal drinks from a liquor store, and then they steal a car and break into a police officer's house to create a mess for fun. They eventually got caught and went to prison. Kyle's mom got Kyle out of prison and was disappointed by his actions. The next day, Kyle wakes up and checks in if he is in a time loop as last time. He asks Bob if any suspicious thing had been reported last night, and Bob gets confused. This gave Kyle a confirmation about the time loop, which he is still in. In the cafeteria, the same events are happening except this time Michael avoids falling from the bully. In their free time from the rehab center, Kyle, Sonia, and Michael go into the bar to drink, and then as last time, they break into a car that has a gun in it. They decide to rob the liquor store, put on a mask, and go to the store with the guns as a robber. It is nighttime. Kyle, Sonia, and Michael go to a house to buy drugs, as their fun is not over yet. They met a man named Tico. Tico used to sell drugs to Kyle in the old days. Kyle, Sonia, and Michael knock on the door. Tico opens the door and they have a little conversation with Kyle. While they are talking, Kyle sees his sister and her friends in Tico's house. Kyle gets furious and starts asking questions to Tico about what she is doing there, and Kyle couldn't handle his anger and goes into fight, which gets stopped quickly by Michael. They leave the house and come up with a plan to kidnap Tico. They knock on his door, kidnap him, and take him tied up to a lake. Kyle starts beating Tico badly, asking what he is doing with his sister. Tico, bleeding, begs them, tells Kyle he did nothing to his sister, and threatens them they will go to prison for this. Kyle, after getting his anger out, decides to leave Tico there. They left Tico and went to the waterfall where the young kid committed suicide. They are drunk, having talks and laughing. Michael starts walking on the waterfall fence by keeping his balance. One wrong move and he is dead. He gets off and Sonia decides to walk on the fence too. Kyle asks her to stop while Michael hypes her up. She starts walking and loses her balance and falls. Kyle catches her miraculously but can't hold her for much. He asks Michael to help him. Michael stands there laughing and does nothing. Sonia slips off Kyle's hand and falls into the water.
Don't fucking cry, just fucking.
The next morning, the time loop continues. Kyle wakes up and rushes to the cafeteria to see if Sonia is alive. Sonia is alive, sitting and eating breakfast. Kyle and Michael got curious about how it felt to die. She told them it was pitch black but she wanted to live, and having suicidal thoughts was a regret for her. Kyle and Sonia go to that waterfall to stop the young boy from killing himself. They stop him and it turns out who they thought was a boy is actually a girl. Kyle and Sonia talk the girl down to not killing herself. After this, Kyle and Sonia had a walk, and their connection is getting stronger. On their way back, they see a police car going fast with sirens on. They rush to follow it and they see Kyle's sister's friend raped, crying. It was Michael who raped her. Michael has started doing immoral things in the confidence of the time loop. Kyle goes to Michelle in a rage and throws a punch at him. Michael fights back and tells them it won't matter the next day. Michael's and Kyle's situation is getting worse day by day.
I saw a smile.
Another morning, another loop. This time Sonia helps Kyle to talk to his sister, which works out. They went to have a meal in a restaurant, and while they were having their time, Michael walked into the restaurant, took a seat with them, and ruined their mood. A bit later, Michael saw a police officer he hated walking into the restaurant. Michael shouted something offensive and the officer told him to stop. Michael stood up talking, and pulled out a gun. The police officer asked him to put the gun down. While this happened, an officer walked in and Michael shot both the officers out of panic and escaped. The time loops again. This time Kyle won't let Michelle do more of his killing mentality. Kyle snuck to Michael's room, kidnaps him, and ties him up for the day. On this day, Kyle and Sonia get romantically close. Kyle shares his story of how he was in a financial crisis before he went to rehab and how his home got destroyed by the people he owed money for. Another Wednesday morning, the time loop continues. Kyle rushes to Michael to kidnap him again, but Michael is not a fool this time. Looking at this and realizing Michael is up to revenge, Kyle runs to the cafeteria to check on Sonia, and Sonia is not there either. Kyle goes to a cabin where Michael can be found. Kyle goes inside and finds Sonia and Tico tied up. Michael points a gun at Kyle and asks him to cut Tico's neck with a knife, otherwise he will kill Sonia. Kyle tries to talk him down but Michael is not into it. Michael shoots Sonia in the leg to show he is serious about it, and Kyle, seeing this and knowing Michael won't back off, Kyle cuts Tico's neck, which leads Tico to die horrifically. "Welcome to the club, Kyle," said Michael. After this, Kyle takes Sonia to the hospital, and after he goes to Michael to stop him from hurting the next person. Michael is going to rape that girl as last time. Kyle tries to stop him and save the girl. They got into a fight and Michael shot Kyle, which led Kyle to die. Kyle wakes up, time is looping again. This time Kyle goes to his family to check up on his mom and his sister, while Sonia goes to her dad to tell him he will die and says goodbye. Kyle talks to his sister in the path she is taking as he saw her at a drug dealer's house before. She told him she would never take a path like him. The scene cuts to another morning, another loop again. Kyle wakes up and runs to the cafeteria once again, but Sonia is not there. He then rushes to Michael's cabin. Kyle, upon his arrival, sees Sonia tied up. Michael offers them a hide and seek game. If he finds them, he will kill them. Kyle and Sonia, with no choice but to defend themselves, flee to the forest to escape from Michael. Michael turns on a motorbike and gives Kyle and Sonia a 1-minute head start. Michael with his motorbike gets close to them and starts shooting. Kyle and Sonia are lucky and miss some bullets and find a parking lot to hide from Michael. While Michael is riding the motorcycle, a construction truck gets in his way, which causes Michael to crash. Michael gets up and shoots the driver of the truck. At that moment, it started snowing, which never happened in the time loop before. Kyle, Sonia, and Michael got confused. The truck driver was not dead. Michael asked him what day it was, but the driver died at that moment. Michael couldn't believe it. He panicked. The time loop is ended. Michael is a killer now, and he escaped running. It's now all over now. Kyle and Sonia went to the hospital to get checked for the scratches Sonia got on the escape from Michael. The results showed she was fine. Kyle and Sonia hugged. After this, a police car takes Kyle and Sonia to Kyle's mom's house. They arrive and see police cars surrounding Kyle's mom's house. Kyle gets out of the police car and sees his mom crying outside. Michael is inside and kidnapped Kyle's sister and her friend. The police are asking Michael to come out, and Michael demands Kyle to be put on the phone. After a chat between Michael and Kyle, things don't seem to settle as Michael is still on a killing mentality. Kyle escapes the police and runs into the house to save his sister. Kyle tries to talk Michael down. Michael has gone crazy, and he can't control his emotions about what just happened. The time loop has revealed Michael's true identity. Michael shoots Kyle. He shoots him on his arm. Kyle gets up trying to save his sister. Michael, who is crying, drawn in emotion, says it doesn't matter how many days repeat, and kills himself with the gun. The movie ended with Kyle and Sonia hugging.